Hello and welcome to tonight's United View. I'm Ben, you usually see me every Sunday, but we're here today for a special Friday preview show. And why not? We've got a big 3 o'clock kickoff coming up tomorrow against Sunderland, so we have to have our say. First of all, thank you so much for getting our last show over 1,000 views. A lot of you having your strong opinions about Louis van Gaal heard, and it's great to have you with us. Tonight then, on the show, let's introduce you to our panel. Unfortunately, Tom's on his way. He's got a bit stuck. Hopefully he'll get here before the end of the show. We try and make tonight's show short and sweet. If you want to get involved, comment in the comment boxes and tweet us at United View. Right. First of all, let's welcome you to the show. Matt Burgess, how are you doing, mate?
I'm fine, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
No problem at all. We've seen you out and about on different shows, but you're looking forward to tonight, yeah?
Yeah, and hopefully we can sort of figure out how Man United can get 3 points tomorrow.
Between us, we'll be like FIFA manager. Also on this show this evening, the United man, Sati. Thank you for coming on, mate.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure.
And also on the show this evening, making his debut, Ussi's with us, Talk Footy 1. How are you doing, mate?
Doing good, guys. Good to be here and present.
Yes, present indeed. Now, Sati, we'll start with you. 3 o'clock kickoff tomorrow. A comeback, a big bounce back is needed after Swansea, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think the way we played against Swansea was diabolical. We need to start playing wingers, and I think the only way we do that is a Di Maria on the wing, maybe Januzaj, if he can continue that form from last season. Maybe, hopefully, he does play. I'd like to see wingers involved. Maybe, get Herrera on the pitch because he's the one that makes us tick. I've said it time after time. He has to be playing for us to get 3 points. And even when we're attacking, we don't look good without him. And Blind sitting in the hole. Against Swansea, the first goal that we conceded was shocking defending, and that needs to be sorted somehow because the way Phil Jones and Rojo were defending was diabolical, to say the least, because in the box you got like a marking man and Key just ran through the whole of the heart of the defence and he got himself a goal, and it was one ball from Shelvey to Key and that was it. And also the second goal, come on now, a deflection, yes, maybe we should have done better, but it was a lucky goal, but we should have scored 3-4 with the dominance of possession that we did have. So I think they got lucky and they did absorb the pressure well. We just need to punish teams off, and once we do that, we'll start getting the results and the performance at the same time. But we need to get 3 points. It's a big game.
Yeah, it is a big game, and of course, Matt, after a defeat like that, people are saying we did control, we did have possession, but overall, we need to create chances, don't we?
Yeah, I think it's been the running topic throughout quite a lot of our games, really. We've just not been creating enough. And that's had a detrimental effect on the way people have been perceiving Van Persie and Falcao. Yes, they have been missing chances, but they've not been having a lot given to them. And we've not been getting them into the game anywhere near as much as we should be. The way that the strikers that they are, we need to be sort of creating chances for them. They're not really going to make things happen themselves. They'll get into good positions, but it's down to the other players who've got to find it. So hopefully our creativity can sort of appear somewhere, because it's not been there in the last few games, to be honest.
Yeah, no, and it hasn't. And to be honest, it's strange that we're saying that because we got Blind, Di Maria, Rooney. I mean, we even had about Van Persie on the last game, even though I know he won't be playing this weekend. We've got all these attacking players, all these players who can create chances, and we still can't do it. So what do we need to do differently?
Well, I mean, go back to 4-4-2. I think just kind of touching on what Sati said, what I've analysed is the lack of width, and arguably we've got one of the best left footers in Di Maria. He's pacey, bag full of tricks. Why not put him against Sunderland this weekend on the left and let him do what he does best, take people on, and more importantly, get crosses in. Now, I know there's been a big debate about Falcao not producing and stuff, but realistically, even touching upon what Matt just said, where has the service been? It's been here, there, and everywhere. It's not being consistent. And if you look at kind of like Chelsea and Arsenal, they play with the one up front. I'd like to see Rooney in his natural number 10 position, where he just drops off behind. I'd like Falcao to start. I know there's debate, but with Wilson kind of being injured or having a dead leg, I don't think he's ready for 90 minutes. So I think with also Van Persie being out, I think this is the last chance saloon, if you like, for Falcao. And I think creativity-wise, we need to get out of the block straight away, like we did against Sunderland. Against Swansea. We came out and we played some really good football, but then all of a sudden we switched off, and they scored 2 minutes later, and then it was back, and it gave the opposition confidence. I think at home, it's a banker, but we should definitely beat Sunderland. But then again, the old guard in John O'Shea and Wes Brown are back, so I'm sure they might have something to prove.
Yeah. Well, John O'Shea, you've got to be careful from him from corners, haven't we? Got to say hello to the real JC, who's already tweeting us. Special United's on with us as well. Hello to you guys in the chat box. Steve is with us. You're right, Steve. Hello to Paritosh, Paul. Khan is with us, Flim Flam, Cheddar, and also hello to Gregory, all in the chat box. You can get involved and talk to United fans all over the world. Just subscribe and comment in the comment box, the chat box. You can do that by just having a Gmail or YouTube account, or you can tweet us at United View. We keep your opinions coming on the show tonight. We won't censor you. We're not into that. We never censor Sati. He lets himself go on this show, and he will do tonight. So Sati, we've spoken about a few players there. Obviously against Swansea, it didn't go to plan. Do you see tomorrow as a routine victory, or do you reckon that the defeat will be playing on the players' minds a little bit?
I think after you come back on the back of a defeat against Swansea, where you dominate possession, and stats to me mean nothing, because at the end of the day, I want to see a result and I want to see 3 points on the board. But it still will be on the players' minds. Having that much possession, passing it around well, playing good football at times in the game. It will be on the minds. They did all that work and got nothing out of it. But at the end of the day, it was their fault. They didn't finish their chances, and that could be down to the strikers, the midfielders, whoever it was. They should have finished their chances. That was the end of it. But yeah, I think this has to be a 3-point game, because if we don't win this, there's teams like Arsenal. You've got Spurs got a game in hand. We'll play on Wednesday, I think it is. You've got many teams, Liverpool even out of the Europa League. They'll be on the Champions League hunt now. So it's not going to be easy. Now we have to win every single game going into it, because if we keep slipping up, you can say goodbye to fourth spot and you can say hello to Europa League. That's what it'll turn out to be, because when you've got teams like below us are winning games game in, game out, and they're playing good football as well, as much as I hate to say it, it's kind of tough, because I want to see United be battering teams like we did under Fergie, but it's just not happening, and something got to change, whether it's the tactics, the formation, the style of play that we do. This humping up to Fellaini thing, I don't believe in it. I think it's got to go. I think Fellaini should go as well. I don't think he's that player. He's not a Man United player, and he's only there for Plan B, which Plan A never seems to work in the first place. So something's got to happen, and I think, on Saturday, 3 o'clock, has to be a routine win for us.
Yeah, it has to be. And of course, Matt, a lot of people after the Swansea game going, oh, what do we want? Do we want the wins, or do we want a performance? We haven't seen a performance. I don't believe in the last 3 months or however many games. We haven't seen a proper performance at all. So you're a guy who just wants us to scrape a win, or you're a guy who wants us to impress at Old Trafford tomorrow?
Throughout the history of watching Man United, there's been games where we've ground out results and everything, and I don't mind that. But when it becomes almost week in, week out, that's all that we seem to be doing, is just grinding out a result and just managing to get something out of games. It gets a bit tiring to watch, and I think really I'd much prefer to see us have a really strong, convincing performance and get a win, and just feel all the better for it. I don't know necessarily what the answer would be in how to improve the performances, whether it's an attitude issue, whether it's Van Gaal's tactics, we don't really know. But something needs to be tweaked, something needs to be changed, because eventually it will catch up on us, and we can't keep on going until the end of the season just playing okay and just getting a result or not getting a result when we're away from Old Trafford.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? Because we're doing all right at home, but we're doing absolutely nothing away. Like, nothing at all away. So we need to make sure, especially with the fixtures coming up, I mean, we've got some tough games coming up. I mean, it's Newcastle away on Wednesday, isn't it? And then it's, of course, Arsenal in the FA Cup. And then we've got the likes of Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Everton, Villa, all back-to-back. I mean, is that why this weekend's game is a must-win?
I mean, to be honest with you, if we talked about the beginning of the season, saying Sunderland at home, we'd say, yeah, that's a banker 3-pointer. I mean, we shouldn't really kind of be worrying too much. I'm always with the thought of you should concentrate at the game at hand rather than worry about who you're playing Wednesday or the week after. So look, get through Sunderland. We should definitely beat them, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. But with the fixture list, I mean, that's some tough games. And if we really are to cement top 4, we really need to take points or victories, ideally, off the likes of, Arsenal in the FA Cup anyway. I'd like us to progress. But Liverpool, more importantly, because now that they're out of the Europa League, I think it's even more important because they're going to have more of a focus on the Premier League now. I think we've got the squad. We have the squad to kind of deal with the fixture list that's going to come. But I don't know what. I'm still confused to Van Gaal's philosophy. He always harps on about it. But what really is it? Because if it's attacking football, I've not really seen it. I mean, there were glimpses last week at Swansea. I thought at times we really bossed it and we played the ball lovely. But then when we get sucker punched, that goes out the window. So we need to have some sort of consistency, and I hope it starts tomorrow.
It needs to start tomorrow, doesn't it? Hello to Khan, who says it was a disgrace against Swansea. Shocking defending and midfield hasn't been dominant enough at all this season. They're giving the ball away too much, which is why we need Mata and Herrera in midfield. Flim Flam says wingers are all well and good, but having 3 strikers stood next to each other in the box, marked by 6 defenders, is pointless. Also having a look at more comments. Hello to Paritosh, who said we had some really good moves in the Swansea game, but most of it happened when we were breaking, I reckon, which is a bit counter. Is something say initiative or inductive to our possession-based setup? I don't even know what that word is. Hello to Stephen, who says if United can't beat Sunderland and Newcastle, who are utter shite, we are playing on Thursday next season. We owe Sunderland a beating because they did it to us twice last season. And hello to Daniel, who says we shouldn't be having to worry about Newcastle and teams like that. They are utter crap. There's a lot of people there. And Flim Flam says there are no excuses. Louis van Gaal will get slaughtered, rightly or wrongly, if we don't get all 3 wins over the next 3 games. Interesting points, but of course Sunderland is a game in hand. So Sati, I want to ask you, mate, what would your starting 11 be, please?
It's tough because we haven't. I think we've only got one injury to Van Gaal said in his press conference, which is Van Persie, which is kind of a blessing in disguise in a way because it gives a chance for Falcao to play up front by himself. And I think that's a good thing. But my starting 11 is tough. Obviously, I'll go with Dave in goal. A lot of speculation about him. But right back, I want to see Paddy McNair play right back, and I think he can actually be a permanent right back for the next 10 years or so because he's got the qualities. It's just he's lacking in confidence, especially when Van Gaal takes him off at half time or after like 20 minutes or so against Southampton. He's taken him off a few times. I think just let the boy have a game, get a good 90 minutes full at right back against a good opposition, not Cambridge or someone like that, where obviously he's going to dominate proceedings. But yeah, Paddy McNair. Rojo and Jones is centre back. I don't think we've got anyone better than them two. I'll actually see Smalling come back as well soon, maybe. I think he's got an injury or something like that. So yeah, maybe them two. Left back Luke Shaw, no question there. CDM, and I'd like to see a 4-3-3 formation because once we get that formation right, and I think that's what Van Gaal likes anyway. He likes playing with his Dutch squad. Play the 3 in midfield: Blind, Herrera, and Mata. I think if them 3 get playing in that midfield, they'll play wonderful. And I'm going to give a bit of a controversial decision here, but my front 3 would be Di Maria left wing, Falcao up front, and Januzaj on the right. No space for Rooney either, because I don't think any player should be guaranteed a starting spot. Whether you're the captain, you're the best player in the squad, I don't care. You should not be guaranteed a starting spot. And I think maybe this is a good time for Rooney to have a rest as well.
Okay, fair enough. Loads of fixtures coming up, so why not? Matt, what would your starting 11 be?
My starting 11, don't really need to say the goalkeeper. I think everyone knows who I've gone for.
You've gone for Lindegaard, haven't you?
Yeah, well, no, I've gone for Ben Amos, actually. I've called him back. No, I've gone for Raphael as the right back because I think if he's fit, I'm a big believer in that if you've got a player who's meant to play in a position, you should play them in that position. I don't mind the fact that Valencia's come in and he's done a shift in right back, but he's not that good.
Oh, Matt, we might have just lost you for a second there. You just lagged out slightly. Do you want to go back to what you're saying about Raphael?
Sorry, keeping Raphael as right back because I prefer to have a right back as my right back. I appreciate what Valencia's been doing, but I prefer to have players playing their actual positions. I think Smalling is the other centre back, Rojo, Shaw. Then I've gone for two central midfielders of Blind and Herrera, just because I like the way that how one can sit, one can go, similar to how Scholes and Carrick worked in Ferguson's last season. Then I've got three in front of those two of Di Maria out on the wing because I want to see him attacking fullbacks. I've got Young on the other wing, and then I've got Mata, and then I'm playing Rooney as a lone striker up front. So yeah, I'm dropping Falcao, but I'd like to see Rooney being played as an out-and-out striker with that creative midfield behind him.
Yeah. And of course, he does need help, doesn't he, to create those chances. If you are with us this evening, tweet us at United View. Let us know what your starting 11s would be, please. Steve, Paritosh, Flimflam, All Things United. If you're in the chat box this evening, type out your starting 11s. We'll come to you in just a moment. I'm going to do my starting 11s tonight as well. I don't usually do that, but I'm going to do it. Essie, what do you reckon in terms of your first 11?
Right, like the boy said, Dave in nets. I heard what the boy said, but I want Tony Valencia right back. The reason why, looking at Sunderland from an objective point of view, they've really not got anything on the flanks because Adam Johnson has been drifting more centrally. So they've got no one who can literally beat somebody. So from a defensive point of view, I don't think that's more of a necessity. So I think with Valencia maybe overlapping, playing right back, I think he'll do a grand job. Centre backs Smalling and Rojo, left back Shaw. Similar to Matt, I'd have Blind and Herrera, two in midfield. Then across the front three, well, three before the front man, I'd have Ashley Young. I think he really deserves a start after his little cameos from his various substitutions and stuff. He's done a good job. Play Rooney in his natural number 10 position because what Rooney gives you, at least if he's not going to score, he's always assisting though, you know. And I kind of feel bad for Mata because I absolutely love him, but with Rooney at least you're going to get a workload out of him as well. And then similar to Matt, Di Maria on the left, and I want to play Falcao by himself, give him a run of games, let him play 90 minutes, let him really make that position his own because he's been, you know, playing up top. He's been playing with Van Persie, Wilson. He's on the bench. It's kind of poor lad doesn't know whether he's coming or going. And I think with that team, I think we could easily win 3 or 4-0. Confident.
Hopefully, with confidence as well, they could do it. Let's have a look at some of your starting lineups on Twitter. Hello to Sam Rafferty, who's with us this evening. He's gone for Amos in goal there, Matt. No, he hasn't really. He's gone for David De Gea in goal. Raphael right back. Smalling, Rojo in the centre. Shaw left back. He's gone with a start for Michael Carrick, who is apparently fit, but we're not sure if he's fit enough to start with David Blind in the centre there. He's gone for Valencia on the right wing, Di Maria on the left, Herrera behind Wayne Rooney. That's his starting 11. Hello to Fred, who says De Gea, Valencia, Smalling, Rojo and Shaw. Blind, Herrera, Mata, Di Maria in the diamond, and Rooney and Wilson up front. Hello to Khan, who says De Gea in goal, Valencia, Rojo, Smalling, Shaw, and then Herrera, Mata, Blind, Di Maria in the diamond, Rooney and Falcao up front. Paritosh has gone for De Gea in goal, McNair, Smalling, Rojo, Shaw, Blind, Herrera and Mata in the midfield, and Di Maria, Januzaj, or even Young out wide with Rooney up top. He can't pick between those three at the moment. And hello to Daniel, All Things United, who goes for De Gea, Shaw, Smalling, Rojo, Valencia, Blind, Herrera, Di Maria, Mata, and Rooney and Falcao. I'm going to go with De Gea in goal for our starting, well, for my starting 11. I'm going to go for Raphael at right back. Mainly because I want to see Valencia push further forward. That right wing needs to be stable. I'm going to go with Smalling and Rojo in the centre with Shaw on the left. And then I want just a flat 4-4-2, please, with Blind a little bit sitting back and Herrera given the licence to go with, of course, Herrera and Blind. And then left midfield, you've got to play Ashley Young at the moment. I mean, Ashley Young, he just comes on, he's like dynamite. We didn't own Lionel Messi, but we've got Ashley Young. And I'll go with Rooney and Falcao up front. If Falcao cannot score a header with balls coming in the box from Valencia and Young, then I don't know if he will. The reason why I'm dropping Di Maria, by the way, is because sometimes it's good for players to sit out and see what's happening. We need him to be fresh for Newcastle. We need him to be fresh for Arsenal. He needs to be on his game. So I would go with them two, just offer pace, width, and get it in the box. So that's our starting 11s. Let us know if you agree, disagree. We'll come to players in a minute. Sati, in terms of what's going on at the moment in the league, Liverpool out the Europa League, they're pushing for 4th. Spurs in there as well. City are just above us. Arsenal are just above us. I mean, the teams are putting pressure on us, but how much pressure will we get from Sunderland? I mean, they're battling for relegation themselves, aren't they?
Sunderland aren't a bad team, to be fair, because I've seen some of the stats that, their goal scorers and stuff like that, and I've got a few stats. The top goal scorers are Adam Johnson with 5, Stephen Fletcher with 4, and Jordi Gomez with 4 as well. So, most of their top goal scorers are from midfield. You've got some others as well, Lee Cattermore bagging a few as well. So they have got most of their goals from midfield. That is kind of a concern because we haven't been dominating midfield in last proceedings, because when we do, we just get countered. So it is kind of a worry. Lee Cattermore does love a challenge now and then. Connor Wickham, another good player I like to see. Sunderland have got a bit of a threat when you consider our form this season. So it's something to be worried about. They've got Wes Brown and John O'Shea, former Reds, coming back to United. So it's going to be a tough one. I don't know which way it will go. Hopefully we do get the result, but Sunderland can put some kind of pressure. If we do, we did lose to Swansea 2-1, so I think anything's possible for Sunderland. They'll be going there with confidence, but we just need to go out from the first minute and attack, and we will get the result. That's what I think will happen.
Yeah, I mean, Matt, we'll come to you in a minute and talk about width. But first of all, Ussi, you was making a great comment off air about their left back and right back, and how they play defensively. Do you want to quickly touch on that in terms of Sunderland?
Yeah, absolutely. I know Van Aalen, the Dutch kid, he missed the last game, but I expect him to play. But if he doesn't for whatever reason, that's where I think some of the true weaknesses are, because essentially they're playing 2 failed centre backs at the right and left back position. That's why I want width. I want Di Maria, Ashley Young, Valencia, just running at these guys, because they're gonna centre backs. It's a fish out of water. When they are left or right back, they're gonna bring you down. They're gonna get carded. They're gonna give United ample opportunity to have set pieces or whatnot. And I think just kind of touching upon what Saki said, I kind of disagree. I don't think what the Sunderland are going to do is, I think their game plan tomorrow is going to be to completely foil United. They'll probably play 4 at the back, 5 in midfield, with probably Jermaine Defoe top on his own. Kind of, Larson or Adam Johnson kind of playing as the in-between striker midfield role. And I think they're going to really try to play counter-attack football, or they're going to, do what West Ham did and the likes, kind of play for set pieces and hope they, nick a goal from a corner or a free kick. I think their agenda is completely to get to Old Trafford, make it difficult and nick something. They're not going to come and play this free, expansive football. They're going to be like, let's frustrate Man United, let's get the crowd going against the team, and maybe we can nick something. So that's why I think it's super important that we really press high up in the first couple of minutes, really just, like a boxer, just go straight to them, don't let them breathe, and let them make the mistake, and we can hopefully capitalize on that.
Yeah, and hearing that, Matt, I mean, how important could it be then to play with width and to get the ball out wide? But on top of that, how important is it to play with width and with maybe a Mata or Herrera in there instead of just trying to find Fellaini all match?
I think it's just more of a traditional Man United way of playing football, and I think that's what all of us would like to see us return to. I think that's what we've been missing, really. We've just not been seeing Man United performances, and I think actually reintroducing wingers where you've then got the fullbacks behind who can overlap and help out with the attack, instead of having wingbacks who essentially have to do both jobs. I think that would make a huge difference. I'd like to see Di Maria play out on the wing, because I think from what I've seen of him, I haven't been fully impressed with a few of the games that he's played where he's been more central. He's sort of wandered. He's not really had an exact role, whereas I think if you give him a job of, right, you're on the wing, your job is to attack the fullback, cut inside, shoot, cross, all of that kind of stuff, I think that would be fantastic. Young's been coming on and looking good, so I think to have both of them...
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Matt, I think you've kind of lagged out a little bit. Do you want to go back to what you were saying when you were saying about Di Maria out wide?
Sorry, is it dropping again?
Yeah, just a little bit, mate. You only went for like 2 seconds.
The Di Maria out on the wing, because he can cut inside, he can shoot from distance, he makes things happen, and I'd like to see him attack the fullbacks. Young equally on the other flank, I think for similar reasons he can create opportunities. To have someone like Mata and Herrera and Blind working as a triangle in the middle would be fantastic, because they can all rotate, they can all chop and change, and I think that they can create chances. And Rooney's the type of striker that if he was to play with those players, I can see him getting a few goals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we all want to see goals, don't we? Have a look at the chat box quickly. Gregory said this should be United's front six. Herrera, Blind, Di Maria, Mata, Young, Rooney. I can't see why Mata would be dropped at home. He's brilliant at home. Away from home is a different story, but at home he always performs. Flim Flam says Ashley Young has given every right back problems this season. As soon as he crosses with his left, they shit their pants. He has to start. Paritosh says Di Maria always on the wings for me. Dibidob says Fellaini was excellent against Man City and Chelsea in a deeper midfield role. I don't really see Fellaini as that type of midfielder, to be honest. He's all right for a hit and get it to him. And don't get me wrong, I don't think he's been bad this season. Fair play to him. I think he's come on a long way this season, like Young. But he shouldn't be our plan A. He shouldn't be Manchester United's plan A. That's for sure anyway. And hello to Khan. He said Van Hul's tactics and team selections cost us a game against Swansea. Why start Fellaini? He's a good substitute and it should stay that way. I've got to agree. For Sunderland, we've got to go out, we've got to cause threats, we've got to hit them hard with plan A, not plan B. Guys, let's come over to predictions then. Of course, after this, we want to quickly talk of the future contracts and extensions. But for now, Manchester United against Sunderland at Old Trafford, 3 o'clock tomorrow. Sati, we'll start with your prediction, please, with goal scorers.
Oh, it's a tough one because I don't know who will actually score for us, but I know we'll win. I think it will be a comfortable 3-1, I'll say, and goals from Falcao and 2 for Herrera.
Okay, pretty confident then.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah.
Let's have your predictions with goal scorers in the comment box or tweet us at the United View, please. Matt, what are you going for?
I'm going to say 2-1. I can actually see Sunderland maybe getting a goal with someone like Defoe in their team. If he has half a chance, I can see him scoring, especially if our defence are going to be fragile like they have been. And I'm going to say, for us, Herrera's going to get another goal because he seems to when he starts, and then Mata.
Okay, fair enough. Anna, see, what are you going for?
Well, there's 2 predictions. If the game starts off cagey, I think we'll win 2-0, probably 2 second half goals. But if we really get out of the blocks, I think we can, it can be a comfortable 4-0 victory. So I'm going for the latter, 4-0. I think Rojo will open the scoring. I think Rooney will get a couple, and Di Maria.
How good would it be to see a performance similar to QPR at Old Trafford? A nice, comfortable win where we went off from the start and we didn't relieve the pressure. It would be good, wouldn't it? Khan says 3-0. Falcao, Rooney, Herrera. Flim Flam says 3-0. Rooney brace with Wan Mata. Dibidob says 1-0. I think I'm going to say 3-1. I'm going to go for them to score first. But then I expect Rooney. I want Falcao to score. And let's go for James Wilson goal, shall we? All 3 of our strikers scoring. Hello to Dan, All Things United. He says 3-1. Rooney with 2 and Herrera with 1. Paritosh says 2-1 or 2-0 at best. He is guessing. I remember to leave the goal scorers on there. We might come back to your predictions. But comfortable and, well, confidence boosting, hopefully, for Sunderland. Let's move on quickly. Of course, the game is tomorrow. We get on to our Common United, which we will have at the end of the show, as normal. But first of all, I want to quickly talk contracts. Sati, a few contract extensions this week. Paddy McNair, Tyler Blackett and Reece James all signing new deals. Out of the 3 of them, which one are you more excited about?
I don't know, because they're really all exciting. I've seen him in pre-season. Blackett was amazing. He's done ever so well this season as well. James played really well in the pre-season, but I think the most exciting one for me is Paddy McNair because he's very versatile. I remember a lot of players saying that he used to be a CDM in his day, so when he was very young. So I think he can play CDM, centre back, right back. He's very versatile, and that's what Louis van Gaal likes. And that's why I think Louis van Gaal bought David in, because he can play left back, he can play CDM, he can also play centre mid, and he can also play centre back. So he's a very versatile player, and I think that's what is most surprising about McNair when he does play. You don't know where he's going to play, and that's what I like about McNair. Even though Blackett and James are doing ever so well this season, I like to see McNair, play permanently right back, because I think he could do the job for United in the future. But yeah, McNair would be the one. Blackett's also very good. I think, at the start of the season, he was probably one of our best centre-backs when we did have all the injuries and that. He was there consistently playing, and I think, McNair to be the top one, then Blackett, then James. James is very good as well.
Yeah, and of course, I think, is James still on loan as well? I think he is on loan still. Matt, who are you most looking forward to?
Of the players who've signed the contracts?
Yeah, McNair, Blackett, James.
Yeah, I think McNair has impressed me the most in how he's just fitted into the team straight away out of the three. I think all three of them have got a future. It'll be interesting to see how they're developed over time. I don't want to get too carried away with them, because we've seen players come through in the past and they've not quite reached the potential that we thought that they would. But I think Van Gaal's the right sort of manager to get the best out of them. I think it's good that he wants to get these young players into his teams, and he wants to develop them, which is only healthy. And so I think Blackett and McNair definitely are certainly players I want to have a look at and see how they develop over the certain pre-season and then the next season as well, just to see if they become mainstays at the centre-back, or if they're going to become backup players if we are going to offload Jones, Smalling and Evans in the summer.
Yeah, of course. They are still all young, aren't they? Ussy, what about you? Who are you most looking forward to seeing in the future?
I mean, definitely Paddy McNair. I mean, is it me, or do you guys see similarities of a young John O'Shea? If Paddy McNair could kind of use play the football with his left foot a bit more. I mean, he's just so versatile. I mean, like Saki said, he could play centre back, right back, probably left back, centre mid. And, I think, we need to harness his kind of potential, because that's all it is right now, is potential. And, like, how he progresses will be interesting to see. But I think United have always, throughout history, given kids chances. So same thing with Tyler Blackett, I was really impressed with him. I think he's just really unfortunate right now, because Rojo is the number one left centre-back, because, how Van Gaal likes round pegs in round pegs, in round holes, sorry. So both really, and to be honest with you, as for James, I haven't really seen much of him. So if he's obviously good enough to be in and around the first team, I'm sure, Man United don't just give, roles to people for no reason. I'm sure he's got some ability. So, it's good time, always good to see young kids, that have come through the system get contracts. One thing I am concerned about, though, is Pereira, because, the kid's awesome, and is this going to be another Pogba or Ravel Morrison situation? I really hope not. I hope we can tie him down too.
A long-term contract, hopefully. Yeah, we'll come back to him. First of all, I just want to quickly say hello to Dividov, who does say Blackett is an excellent athlete, but needs to sort out his positioning and decision-making. Hello to Khan, who says that Louis van Gaal probably only gave these players extensions to prove to the media that he gives young players a chance. Blackett is never United quality. McNair maybe is a second choice right back. James is not so sure. Nathan Massoon says, big fan of Paddy. He was a bit of a scapegoat last week, was pulled off too early for me as well. And Khan does agree that Blackett did have a few good performances, but it's not who we should be looking at. Hummels, Varane, Laporte and Otamendi, we should be looking for proper first choice centre-backs instead of getting excited about Tyler Blackett. Yeah, that was my next question, really, Sati, that I was going to say. I mean, we talk about these guys. We are saying we're excited to some of their futures, but do you see them having bright United futures, or do you think they're stepping stones? Oh, Sati, you there? I think we might have lost Sati. So, Matt, we'll come to you with that question. Do you see these guys as future United top quality centre-backs, or do you think they're stepping stones?
It's hard to tell. I think a lot of it depends on how they develop. I mean, a couple of years ago, when Cleverley first came onto the scene, he looked like he was going to eventually be maybe a mainstay in the midfield playing under Sir Alex, but now that's definitely not going to be the case.
We're dealing with lag all day today, aren't we? We've just, Matt, sorry, mate, you cut out just slightly there, mate. Do you want to go back to the start?
I think it's difficult with the younger players. Like I was saying about Cleverley, when he first came into the team, it looked like he might become a first-team regular, and that doesn't look like he's going to be at the club any longer. So it's hard to tell with the younger players. I think with them, I'd like to see the likes of Blackett and McNair become main centre-backs because it's a nice story. It carries on the tradition of our club. Whether that's going to happen, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that is spot on. And Ussi, how about the worry for you at the moment of the De Gea contract? We've signed a young lad, but David still hasn't put pen to paper. Are you particularly worried?
I am and I'm not. To be honest with you, I'm worried because obviously he's probably arguably the best goalkeeper in the world right at this moment in time. But if he doesn't want to play for United, I mean, then the club is much bigger than any player, regardless. I mean, to be honest with you, I kind of thought when we signed Valdez, I thought we'd kind of already made plans to probably sell him this summer, I think, especially if he doesn't sign a new contract. But if he does sign a new contract, I bet you there's going to be a clause in there that says, Real Madrid can sign us for like 50 million or something. Because I just think in this day and age where, when you're an unbelievable athlete like he is, you have such power over your contracts. And I mean, it shows like, snotty little 18, 19-year-olds who've made like 3 first-team appearances. They want big money,
Yeah.
So it's kind of difficult. But at the same time, you have to look at it from the player's point of view as well. The club make millions from, their name and their success. So, where do you draw the line? I'd love for him to stay, but I mean, just anyone kind of from the Iberian Peninsula, Portugal, Spain, they always want to play for Real Madrid. So and he's a Madrid boy, whether he was that much of a Atletico fan that would deter him to going to Real Madrid, but that might be the only thing that kind of plays in our favour, and the potential, transfer ban. But let's see if that goes anywhere. But
fingers crossed.
Probably
And,
not.
yeah, Sati, just quickly, we're talking off air about him coming out and making some comments saying that obviously the rumours that him and Van Gaal falling out were not true. Were you surprised that he's come out and said something to the press?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one because Van Gaal and De Gea. There's been a lot of speculation throughout the whole of the season. Even in the early summer, there was a lot of speculation about De Gea and Van Gaal. Will De Gea sign a new contract? This and that, and it's been a lot muted from Van Gaal whenever the conversation does come up in his press conference and post-match interviews. He doesn't really go onto it that much. He tries to avoid the question. He won't really give a direct answer, and that's kind of worrying in a sense because you want your manager to say, "Oh yes, he's happy with the club. He likes the club. He loves the club with confidence." His agent saying more than Van Gaal does. Maybe that's the way Van Gaal likes to do stuff. I don't know, but it's just really weird the way he's come out after all of a sudden De Gea has just come out and said, "Oh yeah, this is all trash talk." It's a bit weird because he's never said anything before. Maybe it is true, he's just trying to get the media off his back. Something's going on and it's not good for De Gea and Louis van Gaal. Either they need to sort it out by signing a new contract, or maybe Van Gaal needs to say, "You're not bigger than the club," and let Dave go, because if there's causing a conflict between the player and manager, and obviously you got Mendes, who is a bit of a stupid one. He's one of them agents that just wants money, and that's what he is about. So if he's putting his nose in saying, "Oh, we want this much, we want that much," he's one of them agents. So I think if it's for the best party, both parties separate, and tell De Gea to go on his way if it's going to cause conflict. So I think that's the right decision.
Yeah, Khan says that he reckons De Gea will probably leave, and Nathan had a thought the other day that if we get De Gea nailed down for a 5-year contract, what's stopping Madrid going in for Courtois? We both be fantastic keepers on long-term contracts. Yeah, and at least if Madrid get Courtois and we get to keep De Gea, the only other team we've got to worry about is possibly Barcelona. So who knows? But there we go. That's today's show done and dusted. Matt, thank you for coming on. Thank you for making your United View debut. Where can people find you online?
They can find me on my YouTube channel, Matt Burgess21. It's the same as my Twitter username as well.
Oh, there we go. You can find him somewhere, but he lags out now and then when he's with us, but not on any other show, which is weird. Matt, do you want to go back and continue what you were saying?
I can't believe this is happening. I am on Twitter at MattBurgess21. My YouTube channel is MattBurgess21 as well. I review games, I preview games, I vlog them when I go to matches, and yes, go check me out there.
Yeah, go check Matt out. It's really good. And by the way, you're not the only one having problems tonight, Matt. Obviously, Sati had a few problems earlier on. Apparently, Nate says he's really enjoying the show, but his internet keeps cutting out on him, and a few others tweeting us during the show as well, saying that their internet keeps cutting out on them. So maybe we just all one big problem this season. It's actually our fault. Sati,
You know what it is?
God.
No, I was going to say, it's Jose Mourinho. He's on the line to the internet. He's saying there's a conspiracy against
Mendes.
It's Mendes. Yeah, I reckon it is. It's Mendes or Mourinho. It's one of them. Sati, where can people find you, mate?
I've got a YouTube channel, The United Man, and I've also got Twitter, The United Man _MU.
Brilliant. And what about you, Asi? Where can people find you, mate?
You can tweet me on Talk Footy 1 and follow me, hopefully. I've got my own YouTube channel, Talk Footy, so please watch my videos and subscribe.
Yeah, and guys, thank you very much for coming on. Now, there was an outrage at the end of last week's show. We usually do a show every Sunday, and a lot of people realising that we didn't do a Come On United at the end of it. And we ended the last show with the Van Hal debate. And usually, after our previews, we do a Come On United, and we hand it over to one of you guys on the panel, so to end the show. So I'm going to pick one of you now to as passionately say Come On United as you can to spur the team into cheer. Now, Sati, have you done one? I think you have, haven't you?
Yeah, I think I have, yeah.
Yeah, Sati's done one, so that leaves me with either Ussi or Matt. And please don't take this offensively if I don't choose you this time, but next time I will. Actually, do you know what I'm going to do? Seeing as he's conquered all of his internet problems, seeing as he managed to get his name out, I reckon we can get a clean Common United out of Matt this evening. So, Matt, as loud as you can, wake your neighbours up, wake your roommates up. Let's have your Common United, please, to end tonight's show, mate. Look at that! What a perfect Come On United. Matt, you lagged right as you said come on. I mean, it couldn't have gone any worse. Do you want to try again, Matt? Try again, come on.
Kill me now. Come on, United!
Yeah, that would do. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on Sunday night at 10 o'clock. Oh, hopefully with no problems. Should we get one more? Come on, Matt, one more time. Let's go again.
Come on, United!